since WebDMC has personal information in it, I'm not going to be going through the actual website and showing you. I'll be doing a PowerPoint. I've gotten a lot of different screenshots, so it should be as close to the website as I can get it. But let me know if you need, if you have any questions over anything. Like if I click, you don't see where I clicked or what I would have clicked on. Just let me know, and I can go into a little more detail on each of those. So WebDMC. WebDMC is an online platform that Del Mar College uses, mostly for records and things of that nature. So that's where your financial aid information would be, your personal records like your transcript. You can find your class schedule there, things of that nature. So here we are at the Del Mar website. You can get there by going to delmar.edu. And when you get there, you're going to see at the top of the screen, we've got a couple of different options. There's three up here: Canvas, WebDMC, and email. These are the different online platforms that Del Mar uses. But we're going to focus today on WebDMC. So if I click on this button here, it will bring me to this page. And this is the login screen. It's going to look the same for everyone. You just want to click on the login button here in the top right corner, and it'll bring us to this page. Now, of course, for any of you who aren't already, you need to be a Del Mar student to have a Del Mar login. So once you have that information, you just go ahead and log in here. So I'll log in, and I'll be brought to this page. Now, it won't look exactly like this for you guys. Since I'm an employee, I've got the Employees tab, but what we're really interested in is the Students tab here. So if we click on the Students button, it will bring us to a page like this. So I've got a bunch of different options here, and we're going to go through some of them, but not all of them. And we're going to start here with registration. So we're going to look at how we can register or drop classes. And this is maybe, since it's the beginning of the semester, this won't help you too much, but maybe you need to, you've decided you want to change a class and you want to add something in, like maybe you have time, you have room in your schedule to add another class. So let's look at how we would go about doing that. So when we click on register for sections, we're going to be brought to this page. We've got a couple of different links here. If we look here, we've got search and register for sections, express registration, register for previously selected sections, and drop sections. So we've got a couple different options here. The one we're going to want to click on most of the time, though, is going to be that first one, search and register for sections. And this is going to allow us to find sections based on the major, or if maybe we don't have a major, you're doing general education, you can just search for your classes that way. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and we'll be brought to a page that looks like this. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to zoom in on this information here so we can input our information. So we've got a bunch of different stuff here that allows us to really narrow down how we want to search, but really most of the time, unless you know the exact course, you're going to be searching. So what we want to do is we're going to go first and select a subject. So this would be like not necessarily a major, but where a subject would be located. So let's say you're interested in HVAC. We would then go to heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration, which HART is the code for those courses. We select that. And then let's say this is our first semester, so we want to select freshman. And then finally here at the top, we have to select a term. So no matter what you do here on this page, you have to select a term. So we'll select fall 2020. Now with all of that information selected, let's actually go back real quick so I can show you exactly what I am going to do. So once I filled out that information, here in the bottom, we're just going to click that submit button. And once we click submit, it will bring us to a page that looks like this. So this page, it's got all of the different classes that fit with our search results. So we've got a couple different HVAC classes for the fall semester, but I want you to notice here on the near to the left side on the status column of the table, you can see most of these classes are closed, and that makes sense because it's the beginning of a new semester. But here we have this last one here is open, which means there's still seats available in the class. Okay. So I just want to focus in on just this one class. There's a lot of information on screen. It's easier if we just get rid of all of that and we focus in on just this one. If we look at our table, titles at the top. We have select. This is where you would check the classes that you wanted to add to your schedule. Then you have term, so fall 2020. Status, whether it's an open or closed class, meaning whether there's still seats for the class. And related to that, on the far right side, we have available out of capacity. It says 5 out of 12. That tells us there's 5 more seats available in the class, which has a maximum capacity of 12. If we go back over to the left, we have section name and title. So this is HART. Again, that's the subject code, or I guess the major code, and then the number after it indicates the course number. Okay, and then finally we have the name of the class here. This one is called Energy Management. Location, most classes right now, because of COVID, are going to be hybrid classes, which means that it's going to be online classes, and if there's a lab, you would come in for the lab. So this one has labs on Tuesdays, and you would come in for the labs, but you would have lectures online. And then maybe you come in for a lecture once a week. So if it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, well, this one I think it actually tells us. Okay, it doesn't say the day on here, but if it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe you do do for 2 days, and then you go in person for the Friday. Okay, and then we have faculty. That's your professor. That's just the first initial, so it doesn't give us the full name. But if we see here, the section name is a hyperlink. If we click on that, that'll give us more information on the class. So when we click on that, it's going to bring us to this page. Here we can see a lot of the same information, but here at the top, we've got in the description, it goes into detail on what the class is. So study of basic heat transfer theory, sensible and latent heat loads. So it gives you a basic idea of what the class entails. And then again, start date, end date. The rest of this is all the same information, but you see faculty name. It's got Thomas A. Matula, and it's got his email. So maybe if you had a question, you could email him and say, hey, I'm not sure about this class. I'm not sure if I'm ready. I wanted to reach out and see what kind of materials we're going to be going through, maybe get a little more details. And as well, I didn't really mention this on the previous slide, but if we go back real quick, here we can see on the far right side, we've got credits, 4.00, and then on this page as well, underneath the description, we've got credits. That's how many course credits the class is worth. Most classes are going to be 3 credits. This one's 4 because it has a class and a lab. Okay. So let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Let's see. Now we come back to our this page after we've validated the information. Maybe we sent the professor an email, or we just wanted to look up your professor on Rate My Professor or something. So then we just want to go ahead and check this class, say, okay, yeah, I'm good, I want to take this class, and then we'll go ahead and hit submit. This will bring us to this page, or a page similar to this. It'll be register and drop sections. And here you can see I've got a couple other classes here. I've kind of censored those out. But here we can see the class that we're interested in is under preferred sections. Then underneath that, we've got current registration. So those are the classes I'm currently registered for. Whereas the preferred sections, that's the classes that I'd like to register for, but I haven't set up yet. Now here next to that class, you have the action drop down, and I don't have that. I didn't take a screenshot of that, but when you click on the action, it has a drop down. You can either add to your class load, or you can drop it. Again, I forgot to take a screenshot of that, but if we go ahead, and I'm going to select drop, just because I don't want to actually add this class. So I'm going to click drop, and that's going to bring us to this page, the registration results. So here you can see the following requests have been processed. You can see the class status removed from preferred sections. And if I'd added the class, it would have had the same line there, but it would have said added to current registration. And then it would have been in that second column there where it says, or second set of classes there where it says, here are all the sections you're currently registered. That class would then be moved there. Okay. Now we're going to go back to our main page on WebDMC, and we're going to look at how to look at your grades, transcript, and academic evaluation, or your degree plan. So first we'll look at grades. Grades are pretty simple. When you come to look at your grades, you'll be met with a screen like this that's going to have different semesters for once you are enrolled. And so let's say we look at this first one here. We're going to go ahead and look at, and this is, again, a lot of this is fake data. It's not real information. So we have John Doe here is registered, or he registered for in that semester for sample class demonstration and sample class 2. They got a final grade of A, and the class was worth 3 credits. Great. So that grades tab allows you to see your grades for a full for one semester. But if we want to see all of our grades in one spot, we would want to look at the transcript. So if we come here to the transcript, you're going to have again a drop down arrow. You want to select undergraduate or unofficial UG for undergraduate transcript. We'll click submit, and we'll see again a page similar to this. Again, this is all fake data, but if I zoom in here and look at just a couple of classes, just as an example, let's see here. The student has, let's see, we've got 8 classes here. One of them is a retake, so we go from 1 all the way down to 7. I went ahead and gave them an A for most of these classes, and you can see that each of these is credit hours is 3. I want you to notice here where the sample class 4, the first time they took it in 2017 in the summer 2, they got an F in the class. Maybe it's because they took a summer class, and summer classes are tough. You really should avoid taking summer classes if you can. They retook it then in the fall and got an A. And you can see where they retook it, where you see the repeat column with the Y. That means yes, they retook the class. They took what originally was an F and got an A. So when you retake classes, those will stay on your transcript, but it will show your most recent, or it will show your, it will show all of your attempts to retake a class. Okay. If we come back here again, we can look at your degree plan. So if we go ahead and click into a degree plan, it's automatically going to select the degree plan that you're registered for. And then if we go ahead and click submit, you'll get a page something like this. I've zoomed it out and put a bunch of screenshots together so we can get this kind of an overview. Before I zoom in here, you can see you've got, like, up at the top, you've got a summary, and then you've got program requirements, and then you've got, so that's like your core curriculum, and then you have classes specific to your major, and then you have electives and other courses that you've taken. So if we go ahead and zoom in here at the top, it's going to look something like this. You'll have the student's name, when they're expected to graduate, what their major is, their email, so all that information. But you've also got underneath it, you've got your GPA, how many credits you've taken and how many you still need. And underneath that, program requirements, you can see the classes you're in progress, the ones you've completed, and the ones you haven't started yet. Okay. Now we come back here and we're going to go ahead and look just a little bit at some other information here. We're going to look first at financial information. So how to view your 1098-T forms. So if we click on View My 1098-T forms, we'll be brought to a page like this, and then you're just going to select one of the hyperlinks for one of the 1098 forms you want to see. 1098 form, in case you don't know, it is a tax document related to your expenses for school, and that can, when you file your taxes, that can give you a tax credit. Okay, so let's say we wanted to click on the most recent year when we were filing taxes. I mean, it's fall now, but come around February of next year, when you're doing your taxes, you can come in here. That's where you would find your 1098-T. Next, let's look at Viking Pay. This is where you would come to pay anything outstanding beyond your scholarships, your financial aid, or any grants that you get. So you come into Viking Pay, and you're going to choose student stuff. And again, I don't go into the actual website here, but this is where you would find that information. And then finally here we have financial aid. And again, with this one, I'm just going to show you where it's at. We're going to be brought to a page that looks kind of like this. This is a fake student here, so I'm not actually registered for any classes. And so I haven't filled out the FAFSA, but normally you would see the progress on your financial aid, so if all of your documents had been filed, and as well as like your aid amount and the amount still due afterwards. Now here on the left side we've got this tab. If I go ahead and pop that out, we've got a bunch of different options here, and the first thing here, financial information, this is going to be related to your financial aid and how you go about paying for your classes. So that previous link that I mentioned before would bring you to the same page as well. So that's where you would go and put in your information for if you were to pay on a payment plan, you would put it in your banking information or financial aid. All of that's here. But that's all I had for today. I'm going to go ahead and go back a couple slides. We'll stay on this slide. That way, if you have any specific questions, we can look into each of the different tabs and hyperlinks. Maybe something I didn't cover. If you have questions, I'll go ahead and open that up now. So, but yeah, it sounded like you didn't have your mic set up. When will lab courses start? Right. So if we go back, I mean, I don't know for sure for all lab courses, but if we come back and look at that one that I used as an example, one that looks like, and this might not be true for all lab courses, but this one starts October 19th. If that gives you an idea. I'm not sure if that'll be true for all lab courses though.
But he can go into his WebDMC account and look at his classes, and it should say on there when his lab starts and what day and time.
Right, exactly. So you would want to go on your end and look at that, but that's just in case, that was just me giving you an estimate. But if you go into here on your page, if you're already registered for a lab course, you'd go to your class schedule and it would have that information there. So your class schedule, my class schedule, this is going to be the 6th option there under academic profile.